Good afternoon. Welcome to Connections, and I'm your host, Pastor Kevin McGee of the Victory Temple Church of God in Christ. You're listening to us on IntellectualRadio.com. You can also listen to us on iHeartRadio, Christian community who are making impacts. So get ready because your connection is established. And if you wish to become a connection advertiser, please reach out to me at bishop1915@gmail.com, or you can inbox me on Facebook. And if you would like to host your own show on IntellectualRadio.com, simply contact me and I can direct you to the proper channels. Nature Sunshine. Have you set your weight loss? 2021. Have you kept them? Would you like a natural approach to maintaining health and losing weight the natural way? Do you take medication for asthma, fibromyalgia, cancer, diabetes, arthritis, or any other condition in your body? Do you have frequent colds, flu, or chronic fatigue? Perhaps you want to maintain your health the natural way. So give Nature Sunshine a try. There are many products and plans that will maintain and improve your health the natural way. You can reach out to them at 708-302-5655. The Bedrock Movement affirms safety, comfort, dignity, awareness, and empowerment for our Chicagoland street homeless. Please call John Netherly at 567-5110. We have a solution. We offer a suite of voluntary benefits for individual and families. Who do you know with less than perfect credit that's in the market for a home, car, or other financial need? Our services include the following: credit restoration, will and trust, budgeting, credit builder, credit attorney, credit monitoring, debt payoff, financial lockbox, identity monitoring, life insurance, net worth, savings goals, YFL Family Mint. Our services can help you with obsolete, inaccurate, outdated, and unverified information from your credit profile. Reach out to Vania Perry at 708-910-4767, or you can email her at vania.thatlady@outlook.com, or you can find her on Facebook under Financial Fitness by That Lady. The Clement of Alexandria Theological Academy is a non-sectarian Bible college. CODA offers a Bachelor's of Arts in Biblical Studies degree, Master's of Theological Studies, Master's of Divinity, Doctorate of Christian Education, and Doctorate of Ministry with a concentration in Practical Theology. Classes will resume in person for the fall semester with safety protocols. Online and distance learning is also available, and the tuition is affordable. The school's curriculum is designed for those who are actively engaged in ministry in order to equip them for effective service in the kingdom. For more information, reach out to them at www.coata.faith. Big Hens Barbecue and Catering. I sound like the folks on the radio. Big Hens Barbecue and Catering. Everything is a knockout. They have a daily menu that includes hot links, Big Hens hot links, rib tips, turkey tips, Big Hen burger, lettuce, Big Hen ribs, mixed green with smoked turkey, meat and cornbread, Big Hen signature mac and cheese. Listen, you need to patronize them. You can find them on the corner of 167th and Dixie Highway in Markham, Illinois. Big Hens Barbecue and Catering. Reach out to Robin and Henry Williams, amen, and they will be able to satisfy your taste buds. GRD Realty. If you're in the market for a home or a condo, if you want to sell your home or condo, reach out to me with GRD Realty. You can reach me at 773-802-3513. I can handle all your financial needs and get you in the place that you want to be in, or we can help you sell your place, because right now this is a seller's market. Reach out to me on how you can sell your property. And today, I got this brother in the studio who is cooking up a storm. I'm talking about, this is a certified bona fide chef. This is not somebody that was in your grandmama's kitchen and learned how to cook, but he's gone to school. He's an expert in this, amen. And listen, I've had his food, and I'm still here, okay? Right. I've been knowing this brother for 30 plus years. Of course, if I've known him that long, he must be a dolphin from Whitney Young.
That's right.
And so we wanted to bring him to the show because he is doing some wonderful and phenomenal things in the culinary industry. And he also has a program that will help individuals who would like to get into this industry. But before I bring him to the mic, I want to give you a little bit about him because his bio is very impressive. Chef Darryl Fuery is an executive chef and corporate caterer who consults, advises, and partners with business owners, aspiring restaurateurs, and other food services professionals to design kitchens and develop successful restaurant concepts. After 31 years of cooking and managing for multi-billion-dollar companies such as Sodexo, Disney, Aramark, Chef Fuery knows customer acquisition and retention. Great client relationships and quality ingredients are the cornerstone of sustainable food service. His experience as an executive chef includes 3 years as chef of the Field Museum of Natural History. He also worked for 4 years at Amtrak, traveling the country on the train and visiting large and small cities, learning different regional cuisines and menus to add to his repertoire of recipes. With a love for creating custom menus, Chef Fuery has opened Chef D's Catering back in 1997, the Gourmet Cafe in 2002, Homestyle Express 2004, Chicago Loop Catering 2008, and Praise Chicago 2014. In addition to his extensive restaurant and catering experience, Chef Fuery has spent the last decade developing restaurant training programs for at-risk youth and underserved food deserted neighborhoods in his hometown of Chicago, Chi-Town. His goal is to train all his workers in self-empowerment to prevent poverty, homelessness, and crime through job creation in food service. He works with Teamwork Inglewood, Greater Inglewood CDC, and other local service agencies to consult and train those wanting to work in the hospitality industry. Currently, Chef Fuery is a trainer and corporate executive chef for Wrigley Rooftops, an affiliate of the Chicago Cubs. He is a graduate of Chic Le Cordon Bleu, Chicago, as well as a proud graduate of Whitney Young Magnet High School and Illinois State University. He's a Redbird as well, a Dolphin and a Redbird. Go figure. Welcome, Chef Fuery.
Thank you. Thank you. Glad to be here. I appreciate the opportunity.
Man, we're glad to have you. And then he's brought along with him his sous chef, Chef Breeze. Good to have you.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's just wonderful to have you guys here. God bless all of you that's watching by way of Facebook Live. We thank God for you. Listen, if you have any questions, please call 708-223-8953. You have any questions for Chef Fuery? You have any comments you want to make? If you just want to say, hey, what's up? I know I got some Dolphins already watching. Terrence Anderson, he says, hey, Darryl Fuery, promote Hot Rocks, brother. I don't know. I'm afraid to ask what that. I'm afraid to ask. All right. God bless you, Carol Washington. God bless you, Yolanda Green. God bless all of you again. Any comments and questions, please, you can feel free to call us at 708-223-8953, or you can put it in the comment field on Facebook Live. All right. So we talked about Darryl Fuery, the businessman, the entrepreneur, the chef. But I want to talk about Darryl Fuery, the man that I know, the one that I grew up in high school with. Who is the person? Who is the man behind the chef? Who are you, sir?
Well, I originally come from the West Side. I'm a project baby. Grew up over on 13th and Ashland over the Abla Homes. Moved to my neighborhood of Inglewood when I was 7. So I adopted Inglewood as my home neighborhood. And through the, I want to say, 70s and 80s, it was a prosperous neighborhood, even though people looked at it as, I want to say, not crime infested, but more so, I want to say, a busy neighborhood. We were the second largest, want to say, retail neighborhood outside of the downtown business group. So 63rd and Halsted used to be, like I say, a mecca for people to come and buy all of their foods and things like that. But as the late 70s and 80s came upon us, the neighborhood started declining, and I started seeing more businesses, neighborhood businesses, people that lived around our houses just started closing. They were moving out of the neighborhood. The flight was from, I want to say, 81 to 83. I was going to high school, Whitney Young Dolphins #1, of course, and basically saw my neighborhood decline. And I was wondering, well, what's the reason for this? And I realized that our tax base was, I want to say, just slowly declining, and malls were becoming the thing. Ford City, Evergreen Plaza, they were around before, but people stopped being in the neighborhoods and were going out more, so the neighborhood business were declining. So all of a sudden I realized that this was not a neighborhood I wanted to stay in the rest of my life. I wanted to go away to college. I wanted to go and do something, but I did realize that in order for me to, I want to say, fulfill my destiny, I needed to come back and do whatever I can to help rebuild a neighborhood, because of course I was, like I say, the little kid who saw the neighborhood rise and then saw it decline, and it's still in decline now from all of those years. So right now we're in the process of trying to revive it.
Awesome, awesome. I like the fact that you knew early on that you wanted to put something back in the community. Because a lot of times when you grow up in the hood, your main concern is getting out the hood.
Getting out
You
the
know,
hood.
I'm from the
Absolutely.
west side, Polk and Kedzie, and I spent all of my high school years and college years saying, I can't wait to get up out the hood. That was me.
I wanted to leave the hood, but I also know that I could come back and contribute to it, because you have to remember, we're talking late 70s, early 80s. There weren't like really role models in the neighborhood. There were more so, like I say, opportunities, but they weren't really for us. We were more so looking at it like, okay, I need to get out of here. I need to. But when I go back and look at it, the independent businesses, the small family businesses, they were close knit. It was, 1979, Sister Sledge, We Are Family, everything was a good vibe. And then, like I say, as the 80s crept upon us and things started declining, people wanted to moved to a different neighborhood. They were afraid of the gangs and some of the violence that was going on. Some of us wanted to leave as well. I couldn't wait to go away to college, but I also knew that without someone coming back to revive it, those little kids that I once was would never have a chance, because it would just continue and no one was going to save us if it wasn't for us.
And you're exactly right. And that's why the communities, we look so much to our black um, success stories of those athletes who left the hood, those athletes who went on to become great, those celebrities who have made it. We look for them to come back and put something into the areas that help them to get where they are. And unfortunately, that doesn't happen all the time. But we applaud you because you are doing a great job with your program, and we'll get to that later. But now, when did you decide you wanted to cook? Because, see, I had no clue that you would want to cook back in high school.
That's absolutely true. I didn't have any interest in cooking at all. My dad actually had been in food service, my whole life, so I would see him going to the Caterer at Hilton Hotel, but he was working night shift doing banquets and things, setting everything up. He really wanted me to go into business. That's why my major was business finance, because you have to remember, back in the 70s and the 80s, cooking, there was no Food Network cooking channel. It wasn't a glamorous job. It was a job back then, and he had been doing it his whole life. So he wanted me to go and, be better, be a businessman and do things. So, of course, going to Whitney Young, took business classes, went to Illinois State, taking business classes. And unfortunately, my dad passed in, I want to say, July of 89. So I'm going into my senior year. I'm kind of down because I'm missing him, but at the same time, knowing that he wanted me to go ahead and, complete and finish. But I was having a hard time trying to concentrate because, I felt bad not being around the last few years because I was away at school. So, had some electives available. So I was like, let me see if they have any culinary classes. No culinary classes at Illinois State. So I was like, okay. they have home ec classes. Let me see if there's some food components to this home ec classes. And I was correct. I go to the home ec class, and the teacher actually taught home ec 1 and home ec 2. So we go through the culinary part, and I'm acing every part. And she could not believe that I never had any food training. But I explained to her about my dad and everything. So she was like, "You should go to culinary school." And I was like, that's a idea. And lo to my behold, there was a small school about they were open, but they didn't have a lot of students, but they were just starting. It was called the Cooking and Hospitality Institute of Chicago, chic for short. And that evolved into Le Cordon Bleu Academy. But back then I was in first class that basically graduated from a little small house on the corner to the big place that they end up being at. And we were the first class to actually open the cafe. So I kind of stumbled into it, but once I started learning about the cooking, I realized that all food was just recipes, and it was just more so of working the talent, getting experience, doing it over and over again. And I started at the bottom because I didn't even know how to cut an onion, and I ended up, being able to go through the class with my other trainees, and from then on, I never got out of food service. 31 years.
Oh wow, that's awesome. And I think some of us we found out late that we would like to cook. You know, you know, I've been cooking since I was 8, but wasn't trying to make no career out of it. But then I started watching shows like Food Network, and I said, "Ooh, I think I would like to bake." But I said I can go back to school. I said, you know what? I'm not going back to school for nothing. I'm gonna pay somebody else to bake for me.
That's right.
Chef Breeze, since you're on the
Yes.
show, we're gonna ask you some questions too. Tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got involved in cooking.
Ooh, well, since childhood basically connects to all of us, I love the aromas automatically from mom's cooking in the kitchen. I would sit there with my little Elmo chair and waft it all in. Long story short, my path was not cooking though. Strangely, it was dancing. So I went on and pursued that and had several successful things with dance. And late in life, as you just touched upon, I was actually not in a comfortable place mentally, emotionally, financially, going through things in life that we go through. And this Le Cordon Bleu commercial just kept airing, literally airing every 15 to 20 minutes. And I found that odd and then I figured out, okay, it's what do you call when you want to sign up people? It's a bash. It's like a mass thing. But it personally connected to me for some reason because I felt it was some type of calling. Okay. So I sent the text to the number that they were airing and immediately got a response back from a very enthusiastic young person. She's like, "What do you want to do, Crystal?" Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, "I really don't know. I'm just sitting here. I don't know." She says, "Get up. Come on in." I'm like, "No, I'm not going to do that. I don't have money, blah, blah, blah." She says, "Get up. Come." Long story short, I went, I toured, I filled out the papers. Bam. Started class, I believe, a week after my birthday. I'll never forget it. It was very impressive. And it went from there. I didn't know this was my calling until I excelled naturally. I enjoyed studying. I enjoyed the onions, the potatoes, the eggs, the basics. And it was natural for me. So I went through and graduated and still not really deciding which way to go. Bam. Ran into this gentleman at one of his locations on 63rd, I believe, at Halstead, right up under the Green Line. My daughter and I had went in there for donuts, and we met his lady in the front, and I saw his hat sticking up, and I was like, "Oh, a real chef!" And he was back there just getting it, and I'm knocking on the window like, "Hey, I want to be you. I want to be you." And he's like, blinders, focused from that day, and went on and I met his lady and we exchanged numbers because she wanted me to think about doing cupcakes for that particular location. I went on, didn't pursue it, ran back into this gentleman at Wrigley. Rooftops, our very first shift we worked together was awesome. We worked just and been together ever since. And he took me under his wing. He's my mentor. He's educated me the beautiful events, the beautiful people, and his true dedication is what really nailed the deal for me to want to do this, and the love of food and watching people enjoy food, especially my family, friends. So it was like a more of a soulful calling for me.
All right. It sounds like it was also a road for some healing for you. You know,
Absolutely. That's the perfect word.
healing.
Healing.
And
Yeah.
I've heard that many people that I know in the culinary
So true.
industry, they said that cooking for them is therapeutic.
It is.
And they've gone through some things, but when they found, uh, cooking to be their passion, everything they can forget everything and throw themselves into their work. And so,
Mm-hmm.
hey, we're glad for you.
Thank you.
All right, so now tell me about hot brats.
Hot brats. So, excuse me. So, we're working at Wrigley, and basically, they have hot dogs, hamburger, chicken sandwiches, Italian beef. But for some reason, the bratwurst, they were grilling them and they weren't cooking them the way that a chef would cook them. So one day I cooked them as I would as a chef, and they really took off. We had a building 1044, and we were kind of like the not number one building. All of the buildings were the same. They had the same menu, but for some reason, the staff, all of the people who worked around always came over to our building because we did our brats a little bit differently. So I'm working one day, and actually, Mr. Patillo was having a birthday party at the rooftops, and he tasted the brats and said, "You should sell these." And of course, I'm just thinking that he's saying that because of kindness. So I just nodded and thank you for his suggestion. Maybe 3, 4 months later, another guy who travels all around to the different baseball stadiums came over to Wrigley rooftops, and he ate my brats and said he liked them, behind Milwaukee and Toronto. And I thought that was odd because he traveled to all of the different stadiums, and I knew I wasn't trying to compete against anyone, but I was just like, wow, that's a nice compliment for him to say. So I investigated it and then started thinking, like, wait a minute, on the South Side, we mostly have Maxwell Street Polishes, but no bratwurst. I mean, we have some places that sell it, but not as a staple. And also was thinking of a way to start my training program, which is teaching and training L3C. Basically, it's a training program to help people get jobs in the food service industry the right way. A lot of times people either just start a job and just kind of pick up the skills as they go, but their confidence level isn't there once they hit a wall that they haven't, went over before. They always kind of leave the industry after they get so far. So we wanted to have a program that would allow them to build upon their skills, but at the same time, not make them be might not let them go through what we went through as chefs, because it is very difficult to learn the mother sauces and learn all of these skills in a compact time. So without them having the experience going in, we thought, wow, hot dogs and bratwurst would be a great launching for them because it would be easy to learn and will allow us to build up their confidence for our training program, which is a 12-week program where we start from eggs and potatoes and go through all of the meats and desserts every week. And we want to give them more skills than it would be if they just worked at one place that basically served the same menu every day. They would just kind of learn that same menu. So our different, I want to say, persona of our training program, which what makes us unique, is the fact that we switch the menu every day. Monday we do sandwiches and appetizers. Tuesday we do a different version of tacos. Wednesday we do different versions of pasta like baked ziti or lasagna or ravioli. Thursday we do soul food. Friday we do fish and seafood, maybe grilled salmon, gumbo, things like that. And then Saturday we'll do an easy day, which will be kind of most people's off day from working a Monday through Friday job. So Saturday we'll do pizzas. So, and then we'll praise the Lord, of course, on Sunday. So for 6 days, we'll definitely give them a different menu. In addition to the hot dogs and the brats and the fresh donuts that we'll be making every day, we'll be making homemade donuts again. So the people that missed them from 63rd and Halsted when we were over there, we're at Praise Chicago. That was the name of our restaurant there. Praise the Lord. What we were thinking, Praise Chicago. So we were just wanting to continue our training, but also to give back to the community because right now there's a restaurant labor shortage and people are looking for qualified employees. But they would always ask me to refer people to them while I knew people who worked in the industry. When I sent them over there, they kind of took a referral from me and they thought that that would be enough to let them know that they could do what they could do. But I couldn't refer people who I hadn't really trained because now I'm kind of backing them and vetting them for my business. So I wanted to be able to train the people and then send them out to jobs. So Sodexo and Aramark have all these great jobs out there for trained employees. So what better way to give back to the Inglewood neighborhood is to get Inglewood residents and other people who are looking for sustainable jobs, give them the training and let them get out there and get these jobs that are stacking up, that are salaried jobs. And we can also build back up the neighborhood by having not just the hot brats, but having different restaurants and have people come to our neighborhood to build it back up through food. You know, we'll travel anywhere for good food. So if we have good food, because I go to Goose Island and different places from the south side all the way to the west side. So I definitely know people will travel for good food because, you know, back in on 47th Street, back in the day, it used to be a mecca for soul food and things. And we want to bring that back.
All right. Now, and I got some people on Facebook Live. Vanya, she's watching. She said, "Good afternoon."
Good afternoon.
Kelly Cattonhead, Whitney Young.
Yep.
She's watching. Annette Harris, she's watching. Annette has a show on Intellectual Radio called Mind, Body, and Soul that airs on Wednesdays. She she said, "Are we having a food cooking demonstration today?" She's hungry. No, Annette, we're not having any demonstration today. So you have to go cook you something in your own kitchen. um, Now, since we started talking about the program, let's just get a little more into the program itself.
Okay, sure.
You started the program for underserved young people in the neighborhoods.
Yes. It started out being for teens. The original title was called Teens in Training because we wanted to get teenagers started. I figured that would be a good, age. They start working at 16. Let's get them some labor skills. But really what happened is that this was back in 2003, a community organization called Teamwork Inglewood was just starting up. Wanda White Gills, rest in heaven, was the first executive director. And I was in the bank one day at 63rd and Halsted. I had my chef clothes on and she say, "Oh, you were really a chef?" I was like, "Yeah." I guess, you don't see a lot, a lot of short order cooks or people who, work at maybe Bennigan's or somewhere, but they never, she's like, "Oh, you're a real chef." I was like, "Yeah." So she was like, "You should come up and talk to my class up here." I said, "What do you mean?" She's like, "I've got some teens up here and we're trying to, give them some career development and talk to them about their life path." I say, "Okay, I have a, hour." So I go up there and talk to them. And they were so amazed because, number one, I guess they liked the fact that I cooked food every day. I guess they thought it was glamorous. They were looking at it as basically like a job. "Oh, you know how to make spaghetti and you can eat whatever you want." And I was like, "Yeah, but it's a lot of hard work." It's like, "Oh, yes." They looked at it kind of like a admirable position. Like if you were a, basketball star, they were all happy. And I was like, they really don't know. So I thought about it and I talked to them and I asked them about different things. And I realized that food knowledge is not being taught at home a lot of places because they didn't know. Of course, a lot of people, I want to say adults, maybe not know a difference between a nectarine and an apricot, but they didn't know an orange, the grapefruits. What's that? A big orange. I was like, no, that's a grapefruit. And basically, I went through all of the fruits and vegetables talking to them, and they were so amazed. And so I get a call a couple of days later. Their parents, they were such uh, enthralled by what I was saying to them. They went home and talked to their parents and was like, oh, why don't we have avocado? And I didn't know all of these things. So their parents were like, how can we learn about some of these things that we didn't know about? And I was like, wow, it's more than teens, huh? So I changed it from teens in training to teaching in training because I figured that there were adults that really needed to have this knowledge as well. So I wanted to do a program that encompassed not just teens. So we changed it to teaching and training. And like I say, it's starting off as a 12-week program, but because we're getting into our new location, we're probably just going to make the first maybe about 8 weeks, the first classes and things. But it's about getting sustainable jobs and giving them the experience. Our motto is experience is the best teacher. We feel that by practicing and practicing and practicing, your confidence has no reason but to go up. And if we are there coaching you, we're not going to let you kind of fall by the wayside. A lot of people that I know that have gone through training programs get discouraged after 6 months to a year because they're ready to go. They're thinking, I'm going to start my own business. I'm ready to do all of the heavy lifting and not realizing you have to cut a lot of onions and carrots and do a lot of prep work and line work to get to a stage that you're able to, make your own recipes and do your own cater. But it can be done. But there is a 90 to 95% failure rate for the first 3 years in the food service industry. If you look at it a different way, only 5% of the people succeed. So with that being a high failure rate, we're looking to try to get people the right training and give them the right skills that will be sustainable because once you get into the cooking field and you know what you're doing and you can actually, I want to say once you know what you're doing and you feel the confidence, you'll get promoted and move on through the different industries pretty fast.
Awesome. I like the fact that not only are the people learning how to cook, but I do know that uh, in this field you learn what to cook as far as what's better for you versus
Healthy
nutritionally.
eating, that's exactly
And
right.
that's something that if no one else needs it, our community needs it because
Absolutely.
we grew up. Big Mama, cooking the collard greens and the ham hocks, and the macaroni and cheese and all of that, and that's all we're used to. We used, because you also brought in their taste buds and their palate. Because Monday we know we're having chicken wings on Monday, we're having pork chops on Tuesday, we have spaghetti and ground beef on
That's
Wednesday,
right.
catfish on Friday, and Thursday is gonna be whatever y'all find to eat in the kitchen. Chicken nuggets on Saturday and
That's
pizza.
right. Taking it easy on the weekend.
Yeah.
No, that's absolutely true. The only thing is that after years and years of looking at high blood pressure and stroke and heart attacks and things like that, well, we can eat what we want. We just have to find a healthier way of eating it and maybe not eat so much of it, but also finding a way to include fruits and vegetables and drinking a lot of water in our diet. I think a lot of the times we're reactionary. We eat because now we're hungry, as opposed to previously thinking, what do I want to eat, and kind of preparing for it ahead of time. If you chop up some fruit and have vegetables incorporated in your meal, then it's more likely than you to stop at like getting a Happy Meal or going and getting some food from a fast food place because you're already thinking ahead what I want to eat as opposed to I'm just hungry. What's around here? What's the closest thing I could grab until I get home? But of course, if you get home and you haven't gone to the store and bought healthy things, now you have snacks at home and you're eating unhealthy while you're out doing your natural work day. Where's the chances for you to go and exercise and do some of the other things? So, as an accumulative thing, now you're going to have some health issues. So if we can start them as early as possible, thinking about that, you can eat delicious foods. And that's what we want to show you. We want to show you you can have a rotating menu. You can eat delicious foods. They can be healthy for you. And you can get those tastes that you want, but without all of the grease and all of the things that. And people are getting into that now. Air fryers have become very popular. A lot of people are, like I say, watching their weight through diets and exercise. So right now is a great time. And also, it's a skill you'll never lose. So if nothing else, you can cook for yourself. So not just to have a career, but also to eat healthy lifestyle and change, your own lifestyle.
Yeah, I live by my air fryer. I have the largest one on the market. I think that air fryer is used about 95% of my house. And so that's the thing. As we get older, we learn that how to do things a little differently. But it's better if we learn how to do it earlier in life.
That's right.
Now, my nephew, he was a chef before he passed away. He he started. I remember when he started cooking. We were both in real estate school.
Okay.
I was going to real estate school. He thought he was trying to find himself, so he went to real estate school with me, and went through the whole course. Got to the end of it, ready to take the final exam. He passed it. He's like, I don't want to do real estate. So he was watching a movie, I think Big Trouble in Little China, whatever.
Okay.
And there was this dish that was prepared on that, and it fascinated him. So, and they had the recipe on the back of the CD of the DVD cover.
Oh wow!
So he went and went and bought him some banana leaves and everything, and prepared it, and it turned out awesome. So then he went to Triton, enrolled in their program, went through that. Didn't graduate because he ended up working for Lowry's, and then some others, Z54, Z51, whatever.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Worked for them, and he started, like he said, cutting stuff. He started as a carver, and Lowry's recruited him out of Zed's, and then McCormick and Schmidt recruited him out of Lowry's, and he went on and he sat under Wolfgang Puck for a minute and things of that nature,
Caterer,
and became a personal chef. And when he passed away, he was a personal chef to Cameron Payne of the Bulls.
Okay.
But one thing he would almost drive me crazy because he was saying he would take pictures of all the food that he was cooking, and they were pretty foods, and he would tell me, he said, now look, he said, Kevin, he said, leave the catfish alone. He said, salmon is the way to go. I said, I don't like salmon. He said, but it's healthier for you. He said, you know what catfish is? I said, I know what catfish is. He said, you know what tilapia? I said, I know what all of that is.
Right.
But I like my catfish.
That's right. And the tilapia too. It's all in the way you cook it. But what it is I tell people, it's not that you should eliminate these foods completely. Maybe you just need to add things to it, or maybe not eat it as much, and then kind of blend in other things, because we're creatures of nature. We're gonna always eat what we really want to eat anyway. It's the problem with it is our neighborhoods. How can I say this? We're bombarded by the fried chicken, the barbecue. It's almost as if we don't eat other foods. So when we're in walking distance or driving distance and we come upon barbecue place after barbecue place, sub sandwiches, hoagies, things like that, of course, that's what you're going to gravitate to, because that's what's in your neighborhoods. And if you go visit other neighborhoods in the city, they have a variety of foods and restaurants to choose from, all different, up and down the spectrum. And I think that we get kind of, I want to say, we fall into that pattern of kind of eating what's close to us. So people ask me again, why did you put your training program in Inglewood? You know how dangerous that is. Are you fearful? Well, once again, I'm from Inglewood, but not just that. It's to show the people that they deserve quality food too. They shouldn't have to, send off 30, 40 minutes or drive into the suburbs to get some food that they can't find in their neighborhood. Now, our goal is to build different restaurants that will sponsor this, but at the same time, we want to know what people like. So one of we're looking to open the restaurant Hot Brats, 6239 South Ashland. We're looking to go maybe second week of October. But what we're looking to find out is what are some of the foods that people really want to taste. For example, I said Mondays would be sandwiches and appetizers. Well, give us some of your opinions. Do you want to have a Cuban? What are some of the sandwiches that you're looking forward to rotating in our menu? We're looking for suggestions, not just a chicken sandwich or a hamburger. We're looking for regional. Like I said, I worked on Amtrak for 4 to 5 years. We traveled around. There are different regional sandwiches from New Orleans or from in the Northeast that people love. And when they come around, kind of like with the Philly steak sandwich, they got known for that. And, fish tacos in California. So we're looking for things like that to be able to rotate in our menu so that the trainees can get as much experience as possible.
I got something. When I was in New Orleans before Katrina made a visit there,
Oh, great.
and I went to might have been, I think Emerald had a restaurant there. Emerald
Okay.
Lagasse.
Yes.
But there was a Cajun corned beef sandwich that made me slap somebody's mama. That thing knocked me for a loop. Man,
We
I'm
just have
like,
to find that recipe, and when we
I'm
have
like,
our
wow.
when we have our day for that sandwich, we're gonna call you in and let you tell us whether or not it tastes the same. Because I tell people it's all about recipes. People say, "How do you know how to make all these different foods?" And why? It's just recipes. I mean, people say, "Oh wow, egg foo young, you make Chinese food?" Yes, because it's food. It's a recipe. It's all in just cooking and everything. Sushi, food, all this is just recipes. So we're gonna bring all this to them, and when they're eating sushi over on 63rd National, and you can say Chef Barry made it.
Now, and I like what you said, because the one thing, and I've shared this with other people, we don't have fine dining establishments in the hood, in our neighborhoods, west side, south side, wherever.
That's
There are
right.
no fine dining establishments. You go on the north side, you may even go on the east side and you'll find
That's
some.
right.
And so we're used to going down the street and there's a Maxwell Polish stand there. We're used to going, to get to a Harold's Chicken,
That's right. That's
getting that
right.
5 wings fried hard with black pepper
There's
and
nothing
mild
wrong with
sauce.
eating the chicken,
And
but
it's
let's
fine.
eat it baked. Let's smoke the chicken. It doesn't have to have all that grease.
Yeah.
And now with air fryers, you can do that.
And let's do something different. Every
Different.
now and then I want some pasta.
That's right.
So I have to go to wherever I can get the pasta.
I got a salmon lasagna you're gonna love.
I don't want salmon, man.
You're not a salmon person?
No, I'm not a salmon.
But I know, but you haven't tasted it yet. See, this is the thing. When I went to when I told you I went up to see those kids and I was talking to them about food, I had them close their eyes. When you close your eyes and you taste the food, you don't know what it looks like. You're tasting it. So your taste buds are going to tell you whether you like it or not. It doesn't matter what the monkfish looked like before I cooked it. What does it taste like in the
What
soup?
fish?
Monkfish. It's a very ugly fish. You'll look at it and not want to eat it. But after I cook it and you taste it and you go, that is delicious. Well, how would you know? If you're already saying I don't like this without even tasting what it's tasting like, you're already defeating the purpose. So the goal is I want everybody that can hear me do that. Close your eyes and eat the food without someone telling you. Now, I'm not saying if you have an allergy to something to not let someone know that. Of course, we don't want you to get sick, but like I said, a lot of the times the food that we taste, whether we hear about it or what we look at it, it's not exactly the same. So I'm gonna make you that salmon because I don't want to make it with catfish lasagna. So I'm gonna make that salmon lasagna. But when you taste it, I want you to let me know what, because it's not what you think. It's different. We got some signature recipes we're gonna bring to y'all.
All right, so I want you to try that. Folks that don't eat chitlins, close your eyes and just open your mouth.
No, we got a limit now. See, what I'm saying is that when you don't know you like something, see, it's a difference when you absolutely hate something. I'm not a tomato fan. I've been anti-tomato. I love tomato sauce. I do a lot of things with tomatoes, but just eating raw tomatoes doesn't appeal to me. So I won't eat them. But when you're tasting something that you not sure about or you always wanted to taste, but people are kind of scared you away from it, and you're like, oh, I don't really like avocado, and then you eat some guacamole and say this is delicious. Well, it was made with avocado.
That's just like me. I hate sweet potatoes, but I love sweet potato pie.
Well,
So
there it
hey,
is. Like you say,
uh,
we contradict ourselves all the time. I just want people to eat healthy so they can live longer.
now concerning your program, do you receive funding for that, or how was that?
This is all privately funded. We hope to get uh, a relationship with some of the business programs, and we would like to take funding. That's why we our program isn't free. That was another problem with some of the programs. I found out from the people that actually went through them. They said that because they were free, they didn't feel like they had invested any skin in the game. They just felt like, well, this was just time. So what I'm saying is that if we have them kind of help fund their own, I want to say career, and it's a low amount, but it's just the fact that they feel like they have skin in the game. They have to come. Our program is from 8 o'clock in the morning to 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Monday through Friday. And it's like a boot camp. We're not going to take it easy on you because when you go to work in these kitchens and you're dealing with people's food, health and safety is number one. And we definitely don't want to get anybody sick. But we also letting people know that this is a job. This is work. A lot of people, you go into places and there's no charisma when you walk in. There's no hello, thank you for coming in. It's what do you want? Or they're on their phone, basically doing Facebook, and they got one earbud in their ear, and they're not really paying attention to you. You're coming there to eat because there's nothing else around, and they know it. So you're kind of a captive. We want people to come because they like the food and they want to support Inglewood residences that trying to have sustainable futures through our training program. So we want to target the people that we bring in, but of course it's for everyone. But we definitely want funding and people to kind of support our sponsors. So we're looking to have sponsors for our trainees so that they can basically they're not wealthy people living in the Inglewood area. They need support. So through our community organizations, Teamwork Inglewood, Greater Inglewood Chamber of Commerce, Greater Inglewood CDC, those are the places, community organizations that if you want to help a trainee that help finances a training program, that they will take the donations because we're not a non-for-profit.
Gotcha. All right, so what would you consider to be your, because you've been cooking a long time. You got your, your favorite things to do. What is your signature creation?
Hmm.
And Chef Breeze, you're gonna let me know if it's really good.
Well, it's changed over the years. That's what's amazing because when I first started out, everybody wanted gumbo. They loved my smoked chicken salad. I would think that would be my signature dish, but so many people like the salmon lasagna. So many people like the brats that we're doing. Like I said, by cooking them the way we cooked them, they took off. I want to say everyone else was kind of going through 2 cases of brats. What were we going through? 6, 7 cases a day. So we were tripling what the other buildings were doing.
So I have
So
to try these brats myself. I'll let you know if they're good.
absolutely, we're gonna come up here and bring you guys some.
Yeah, yeah,
Absolutely.
come on.
My daughters don't normally eat brats.
Me either.
Okay, and myself either. When I tasted Chef Breeze's brats for the first time, the first shift I worked, I was like, hmm. So I took one home to my daughter, and she was like, you could tell Chef to send me a couple more. And I was surprised because the technique. I mean, anybody can cook a brat, but the technique and the care and the way he smokes it and soaks it and just, I mean, they called them meat pudding.
Really?
Whoever out there is listening, you know who you is that said that.
Yeah, they've been saying
And-
they coined that term. It's like
yeah,
meat pudding,
meat
and I was
pudding.
like, does
Meat
that?
And
pudding.
oh my
It was like
goodness,
it just melts, and most of
with
the
the
time
grilled
brats have the
onions.
snap.
Mm,
And I'm gonna tell you,
yeah, worth trying.
when we had our reunion, and he was on the grill. You know, I'm strictly a hot link person. Give me the pork,
Mm-hmm.
maybe a beef. He was
Mm-hmm.
cooking chicken hot links. I said, I don't do chicken hot links.
Yes.
After I ate that
My
chicken hot
stomach
link,
is
what I do? I
growling.
come back and say, well, you got any more? I need to know.
He absolutely did, and that's how I know you can convert people with food because, like I said, you have the pre-thought of your mind that, oh, this is not going to be great. But like I
Mhm.
say, your taste buds is going to let you know whether or not you're going to spit it out, or you're going to say, hey, can I get another one? It's just getting people to break down that fear from the beginning of trying things, because kind of we're conditioned. And of course, like you say, there are things that we know we don't like automatically, but maybe it's done in a different way. I just say maybe try it again and see if it's the same taste you had before. Maybe the person that made it the first time didn't know how to cook it. My business manager is out there sitting now, and he was telling us on the way here about his episode with split pea soup. Well, we make a great split pea soup. It's just in the recipe. How do you like it? How do people make it? So, like I said, it's just about being exploratory as far as not saying don't get sick and try something. You definitely, if you're not eating alligator all of the time, maybe you want to take it easy and stuff. But I want to say, for the most part, you can taste it just a little bit and see if it's something that you can tolerate.
I'm gonna take your word for the alligator. I'm not gonna taste it. I'd rather wear it rather than eat it. But
Tastes like chicken.
no, yet everything tastes like chicken. No, don't try it. And you talking about split pea. I'm tell you, I ain't want no split pea ever since The Exorcist. Okay,
Oh my
but
goodness! So yeah, that's see, and that's another thing. A lot of things have been misportrayed in film, which make people say, "No, I'm never gonna try that." So yes.
but yeah, those chicken hot links. I mean, he had a line waiting for those chicken hot links. All right, so now, what has been the biggest event that you guys have participated in thus far?
Oh boy. Well, me personally, let's see. Over the years, it's been quite a. Did a lot of Taste of Chicago's, a lot of Paloozas, um, but
I know you didn't do this last Lollapalooza, did you?
no,
Oh,
no, it
okay.
was too hot out there. I mean, usually it's hot, but we just coming off the pandemic. I couldn't get out there with all those people. But let me tell you about, and this is a particular year, 2007. For me, it was a busy year, but I remember that summer doing catering events, and Mr. Toyota, he was the former chairman of the Toyota, of course, namesake. He was being inducted into the Automotive Hall of Fame. So he was coming from Japan over to the United States, to Detroit, to get that recognition, but he was coming through Chicago. They shut down Lakeshore Drive. I mean, when I say they shut down Lakeshore Drive and Columbus Boulevard, that's how big a deal it was. They shut it down, and they had all these luxury Lexuses and Prius. And this is 2007 back then. And he had an event at the Field Museum, but I had never known for them to do that. Like I said, for one particular person, just like an event like that. But whatever it cost, they did it. And the same exact summer, and this is every year in July. Rest in peace, Richard Dryhouse. He passed this last March. He would have a birthday party every July at his Lake Geneva residence. And in 2007, he brought the circus there. When I say Ferris wheel and everything, every year he had his birthday celebration in July out at Lake Geneva. There was a different theme every year. One year he brought in palm trees and had sand brought in,
Mm.
so every year he had this magnificent party. It was I want to say the highlight of every summer, his party. So I'm gonna miss him and having those parties every year.
Cool. So now, in all that you've done, what have been some of your greatest challenges?
I want to say getting people to believe that it's possible. People are like kind of like set in their ways, and they're like, nah, people are not gonna change their food habits. If you're used to eating Leon's and Uncle John's and all of these places, and just that's your neighborhood, that's what you eat 3, 4 times a week. McDonald's, check. People are thinking because of their economic situation, that's what they have to eat. And I understand maybe in the past, uh, food has gone up for the pandemic. I'm not gonna, say that's not true. But what I'm saying is that the same thing you're buying for some of those unhealthy foods right now, some of those healthy foods have gone down. It's just your mentality. I would think that with all of the death and all of the kind of, want to say, hospitalizations people having, they should realize now is the time to kind of get their, want to say, food situation together. You can eat whatever you want, but you're the one that's going to have the stomach ache, and it's not saying that you have to completely switch over to all healthy. We would like for you to eat more healthier and, eat leaner foods and things like that. But just kind of want to say, recognizing that's my biggest hurdle. People are like, they're not gonna, want to eat certain things certain days of the week, but we already do it. Churches and places on Tuesday that have fried chicken specials on Tuesday. We've for years been flocking those for that one day. We don't eat as much on other days because it isn't on sale as much those days. So we kind of have that already in our mind state that we'll eat the foods on those days. But that's my biggest hurdle, getting people to believe that people will want to change some of their lifestyle habits as far as eating and things. But who wants to eat French fries all of the time? Don't you want some vegetables and broccoli with cheese sauce is good. I make a good rice pilaf. There are certain things that you eat. Meatloaf. You don't want French fries. You want mashed potatoes and gravy with your meatloaf. So I'm just saying there are certain things that we can put together that people are gonna like, and I think they just need to have an open mind.
And you are right, because I have a my wife will tell you I don't have a wide taste palette, but that's because I
You
do
like what you
cooking.
like, yes.
But when I go out, if I'm going to a restaurant, I'm not going to unless depending on the restaurant, I'm not ordering a burger if I'm going to a steak
That's right. That's right.
a steakhouse. If I'm going to Ditka's, I don't want a burger. Don't give me a burger. Give me that T-bone. Give me
That's
that
right.
porterhouse. If I'm going to an Italian restaurant,
You're not gonna ask for the fish.
I'm not going to even ask for spaghetti. Give me that chicken Alfredo.
That's right. That's right. So that's exactly
You know?
that's. I'm glad you said that because that's exactly what we're trying to do. We want to expand their palates so that they are eating the chicken Alfredo on the Wednesday. They are eating the shrimp ravioli. They are eating some of the things that because you got to remember, in our neighborhoods, there are a lot of restaurants that aren't owned by us. So what I'm saying is that they're gonna go by the highest profit margin. So if the goal is to sell the cheapest food for the highest amount, we're gonna always have fried chicken. We're always gonna have Italian beefs and pizza puffs and things like that because who's caring about the health value? If you're not caring, they're not going to care about selling it to you. That's where we come in. We want to sell you the healthy food that's going to make you taste and say, you know what? When I go out to restaurants, I'm going to try that chicken Alfredo because over there at Hot Brats on Wednesday, they had a chicken Alfredo and it was so good. But we don't know when it's going to come back because next week is the salmon lasagna. And the week after that is going to be, like I say, the baked ziti or things like that. So the reason why we're switching that menu like that is to give our trainees the most skills they can get within those 12 weeks. So by changing the recipes all of the time and giving them those prep skills that go along with making those new recipes, that's why it's going to be so hard because you have to have all those inventory and all those ingredients on hand to keep making those things. So we got to start from day one with our inventory and that's why it's going to be like a boot camp because we can't lose money. We're still a for-profit restaurant.
Mhm.
And that's why a lot of places don't do it. They'll do a training program, but they won't do a for-profit restaurant because the trainees don't have the skills to keep it up and rotate the menu. That's why we're going to be the coaches and they're going to be the cooks.
Cool. I've got some Dolphins that are checking in. Barry Anderson. He was one of the ones waiting on those chicken links too. Christy Lucas. God bless. Good to see
We
you.
can always
all.
have a Whitney Young get together.
Now see that now you're talking. Okay, you let me know when.
That's all right. We
All
can
right.
have that. Okay.
Let me know when. So now what keeps you motivated? How do you keep your faith strong in this?
Oh boy, it's hard. I want to say I just have to keep going back to that 7-year-old kid who was walking around the neighborhood and saying, "Why are all of the
Okay,
stores?"
give me one second. Then we got a caller.
Sure.
We have a call on the line. Go ahead, caller. Who's calling to Connections?
Brother McGee, it's Barry Anderson, man. What's going on?
What's
You and Brother
going
Fury.
on? What's going on, Barry?
That's
Not
right.
a whole lot, man.
All right.
I was calling in, first of all, to congratulate you, you both, on the good work. And also, the second, the fact that, I was in line waiting on that chicken sausage, man. That was excellent. I've been trying to find something like that since then. So I'll be stopping in next time I get to Chicago.
Oh no, we're gonna have a whole party for when you come back. You're gonna get all of your Sigmas together, and they're gonna come in, and we just gonna get together and have a big old event.
That'll work, man. As a matter of fact, do you travel? We might have to get you down to Peoria sometime to do an event.
Oh, we'll come anywhere. We bring good food wherever the people want it, so we could definitely set up an event. Just you got my number. Just hit me up.
Excellent, man. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you calling in, bro. Thanks for your time today. Thanks.
This is why we call it connection, so we can make our connections.
Right on.
All right, man, Barry. Good. Thank you for calling in, man.
All right.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you,
Y'all
man.
be
Be
good.
blessed, bro. Thank you, bro.
Thank you.
Take care, God.
All right, bless you. All right.
That's my buddy there.
So, getting back to your faith, man, what keeps you motivated?
I think this is, and I want to speak on this with Chef Barry here. I think it's a calling, it's a passion. I think our faith has brought us here. I want to say I try to do everything on my own. I've been toiling, trying to start different businesses. You named a lot of the businesses: Chef D's Catering, Chicago Loop Catering, Homestyle Express, Gourmet Cafe. We had all of these businesses before, but I was trying to make money. Like I said, I was a business finance major before I switched over to culinary. And I know at the bottom line is your profits have to, exceed your expenses. So, in your revenue. So the thing is that you want to do it yourself. But what I wasn't doing was I wasn't praying every day. I wasn't believing that it was possible that I could do it without all of these people help. And then I say, you know what? I'm going to step away from everybody who's telling me that they'll help me and I'll do it. And I'm going to try to do it myself, but I'm going to start praying every morning and every night and just keep asking and asking. You would not believe how many doors started opening up. Everybody wanted to connect with me then. And I was like, what am I doing? I figured it out. And ever since then, I haven't stopped. So God is to the glory because, like I said, my faith, I always had faith. But I was looking at it like, as long as I'm not out here hurting anybody, I'll have good luck. Well, you need more than good luck. You need to have faith in yourself and faith that God is going to bless you because you're not doing it for yourself. I want to bring up the Inglewood residents in the training program. I'm not trying to shine a light on me. I'm going to shine a light on my trainees to build up their confidence so that they can have a 30-year career. I've already done it. I want them to do it.
So now, how can people, if they say, "Okay, chef, we're ready to sample your food," where do we come to? How do they reach you, and where are you cooking?
Okay, we have a location at 6239 South Ashland. It'll be opening up beginning of October. So we'll be kind of starting off a little soft opening. I'll let people know when we're going to be opening. But the goal is to get the people to support the Inglewood residents. We want to let people know that the food is going to be great. You don't have to worry about any violence coming over there. People have a misconception about certain neighborhoods. It's not all bad. There's some good people there that want to have good jobs. And the way you support them through the good jobs is by buying the food that they're making. And we'll get them those sustainable jobs through Air Market Sodexo. So our program is a rotating program. So I want to say instead of just I could hire 5 cooks and just give them good jobs, but I could train maybe 60 people a year and get them good jobs and keep rotating and build a network of people. Mm-hmm. So like I say, we're going to be broadcasting, we're going to start our Facebook page and our Twitter feeds and all those things coming up real soon. We just want to make sure that the spotlight is on where it's supposed to be, the trainees, the good jobs. People are going to eat the good food because we're making it and they're not able to get some of these foods in the neighborhoods. We're doing a lot of specialty food. So unless other restaurants that serve that food all of the time have an objection, we're just going to be doing different, like I say, sandwiches from around the country. We're going to always have tacos like fish tacos, veggie tacos, jerk chicken tacos. But those sausages you're talking about, those chicken sausages, every day. We got a jerk chicken sausage. We got a regular chicken sausage. Like I said, we got vegan sausages. And we got some things that people are going to like.
All right, I'm only for the sausages, so I'm just letting you put my order in now.
Absolutely.
And Chef Breeze, you got a specialty?
She don't want to talk that much, but she was a contestant on Master Chef, so
Really?
she don't want to talk, but let her say some
Correction,
stuff
I
about.
auditioned. I had the privilege of auditioning for MasterChef. Yes, I was accepted. I did get a call back, but unfortunately something came up that particular year and I had to let it go.
Okay.
But I have to say a signature dish for my family that I had cooked for the first time in school was shrimp Newburg.
And what is that?
Shrimp Newburg. It's oh my goodness.
See, I
Help
can't
me
eat shrimp,
explain it,
but,
Chef. It's like a puff pastry dish with a certain roux and spices of shrimp. And it's layered in flavor and flakiness. And I had never made it. My children had never ate it. I had never even heard of it. Since I took it on so well, I would assume that or take that as one of my signature dishes.
Awesome. See, now you know you got a real chef because it's a roux. It's a roux. See, I like that. See, you know, see, those that watch Food Network, you know, you got a real chef because they roux. My nephew started talking about roux. I'm like, what?
But you saw the passion that changed from him from going from real estate
Yeah.
to cooking.
Yeah.
And it's nothing like it. It's like you're on fire.
Yes.
All of a sudden, everything you're observing, you everything turned culinary for him. He
True
wanted
passion.
to know ingredients. He wanted to know
Exactly.
recipes. And that passion, what happens is a lot of people start out with that passion. And let me tell you what kills that passion. They graduate from school, and if there aren't jobs that are available and they can't find work, you start losing that skill and that passion. And what happens is that you'll work at a place, you're ready to go, they'll have you cutting onions and peppers, and unless you have that mentality that you'll start at the bottom, you'll think that's
right.
beneath you and you want to go. And you get discouraged. And next thing you know, you're working at Dollar Tree or you've gone to work somewhere else because you said it's too hard to break into the industry. No, it's not. You just have to keep that passion up and knowing that it's going to be hard. That's why we have to be hard on them. People are like, oh, you're a nice guy. How are you going to be hard on them? Well, we're different in the kitchen because the customer is number one, and we don't like to make the customer wait a long time for his food. The food has to taste great, and it has to be safe. We believe in gloves, hair nets. Go into some of your places and see who have on hair nets and hats and gloves and masks that cooking your food back there. I'm not scaring people, but I'm just trying to tell you, be careful where you eat. A lot of the times, it's not as safe as you think.
Well, that's an eye opener. All right. Well, we just thank God for you taking time out of your busy schedule, and you know, I'm gonna have to get by there.
We're going to come to you.
Fries.
We're going to come to you. As soon as
right.
we get open, we're going to come back, have a day here, and let everybody taste the food because we want to be one of your sponsors. I'm saying that on live air.
Right.
So hopefully, like I said, we'll have a great relationship. We've been friends for 35 years now or something like that. So it's like, you know, hey, I'm here, you here. We just want to let people know that it's not all about profits when you're starting your business. Sometimes if you care about the people that you're doing the food for, it doesn't become a job. It just becomes something you like doing, and that's what we want to show people. You don't have to be stressed to go to work every day. You can go to a great place, do a great deed, and come home and have a great relaxing night.
Awesome. Again, we thank God for you, and those of you that's watching, tune in to Connections every Saturday from 12 noon to 1 p.m. Also, every Sunday, you can find us at the Victory Temple Church of God in Christ, 2000 West Roosevelt Road in Broadview, Illinois, where we will be delivering a feast on the Word of God. And until next week, we say goodbye and good eating.